part in this crony culture? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, why then does Terence Gomez, an expert on business and politics at the University of Malaysia, now say that you were close to a host of businessmen in the 1990s? Indeed, he says you were closer to many businessmen than was Dr. Mahathir himself. He says you, in effect, controlled key newspapers, the TV network, TV3, all run by friends of yours, and you used them for your own political ends. If that's not cronyism, what is it?
Let us take the issue of Minister of Finance and friends who are in the business community. Ministers of Finance will always interact with all.
But let's stick with the specifics. Did you or did you not have key friends running many of the media outlets in Malaysia?
First, the first point is, just because you know businessmen does not make them your crony. The cronyism means that you have direct or indirect business interests, or you derive material benefit from that. That is when we go after the principle of cronyism. And now, second point on the TV3 and the newspapers, I've adduced evidence in court that I have not even 1 cent of shares in that company. The company was owned by the 4 members of the editorial board, listen, and 70% was owned in the name of Dr. Mahathir.
Are you saying you had no influence over what those media organizations reported?
Of course.
During the time when they were run by close friends of yours?
Look, I mean, let us establish the facts. You did say that I had some interest. I am saying to you now that 70% was held in the name of Dr. Mahathir as an individual, and 30% shared by the 4, including TV3 chief. Now, why is that I am now, you are suggesting that I have
tell
influence?
you why, because you now are running a campaign for clean government in Malaysia and suggesting that you, at some point in the future, will have a political career based on the need to clean up Malaysia. And the question is, why would Malaysians believe that you can deliver, given this long track record we are now going through?
Because they look at the facts. The facts suggest, and is proven, as I have adduced in court, the name of the companies, the percentage of control in these shares. If 70% is held by Dr. Mahathir, personally, how is it that I can influence the 4 editors?
You suggested earlier a little tone of regret about the way you conducted yourself in those long years at the top of Malaysian politics. Are you essentially saying you're sorry for some of the things you did?
Yes, because I think some of the things I was part of the government. I did attempt to reform from within.
Which things are you sorry for now?
No, for, the rest, I mean, they were quite clear. But the
you mean you should have resigned, or you should have stood up stronger to Mahathir then?
Maybe, but
well,
the
maybe
point,
isn't clear enough. I think should you or should you not?
Look at the facts. These the people who were arrested knew for a fact that Anwar was trying from within. You see, they were communicating with me. Their families met me. And here I was, in the government, appealing to Dr. Mahathir. And you can't say that I was part of the, that arrangement, because all the time, all the while, even when I was acting Prime Minister, not one was arrested under the ISA.
All of it comes down, in your answers to me, to this one word, Mahathir. Do you blame Dr. Mahathir personally for your downfall?
Well, he was the leader of the conspiracy, but quite a number of others were involved, of course.
Why did he turn on you? We've just described this relationship you had with him over so long. Why did he turn on you? Did you know something specific, something that you had on him, which meant in the end you had to go?
He has to ensure that his successor would be able to protect his interests, his family, and his cronies. And knowing my position on corruption, on cronyism and nepotism, that I made it rather public, I don't think it was to him conceivable that I would be able to prepare to protect his interests.
You're treading some dangerous ground here. You're basically telling me that he was a criminal and that you blew the whistle. Or might have done, had you continued.
I wouldn't go to the extent that to accuse him of being a criminal, but I don't think he can...
you pretty much did just then.
I don't believe that he can absorbed himself to a lot of the crimes perpetrated in the country, be it the beatings, and the arrests, and the rampant corruption, and the billions of dollars lost.
Do you think he personally authorized what you've alleged to be the torture you suffered in solitary confinement in prison?
I was tortured. I don't believe...
Did he authorize it?
I did say that I did not believe that he gave specific instructions. But, you know, as you know, the history in this country, when the kings expressed his disgust to some of his colleagues, then...
But you know, you are possibly, through this period from 1998 to 2004, possibly the highest profile prisoner in Malaysia. You allege that you were beaten, tortured. You still suffer from the consequences today, you say. It's inconceivable that Mahathir didn't know about that.
Yeah, he knew about it. He denied initially. He said it was self-inflicted. Then later on...
What happened exactly?
The Inspector General of Police...
Was it one beating or sustained beating?
Well, sustained beating for quite some time.
So he must have known.
Of course he knew. Of course he knew. But he denied knowing it, and at the second stage he denied and suggested that it was self-inflicted. But when the Inspector General of Police, because of the pressures from international pressures, finally, when the investigations were conducted, not by the police, but an independent commission, he admitted.
Do you forgive him?
I have no time to dwell at that. I mean, I said no malice and that's it.
Well, but the point, again, is that you are a public figure and you hope to go back to Malaysia and become an increasingly important public figure. Maybe you're going to lead your country one day. This question is going to come to you time and again. Do you forgive Mahathir? If you go back and lead Malaysia, what will you do with Mahathir?
He must retire for good. And
meaning what? That you think he's still pulling the strings in Malaysia?
He does, I believe. And I have said this to the present Prime Minister. He has to conduct himself in a responsible manner in the reform.
Let me stop you there.
Yes.
You're saying that the present Prime Minister is not really ruling Malaysia, that Dr. Mahathir is still pulling the strings in the background?
I can't say to what extent, but certainly Prime Minister Abdullah has not been that effective in combating corruption, in undertaking the necessary reforms. There's no free media. It is worse, in fact. The media control by the government is far worse than before. There's no change.